Well, and I agree. I think also that the idea of expecting everyone to do it perfectly all the time is, completely counter to the idea of
Exactly.
psychological
Yeah.
safety. You're supposed to be able to admit when you make a mistake. You're supposed to be able to be allowed to make a mistake without, being persecuted for it. So,
Yep. Yep.
so I think that, yeah, you definitely shouldn't be expecting perfection when you're implementing psychological safety. That would be oxymoron, or what's the term I'm looking for? But I think that one other point I wanted to mention was that, because you mentioned that implementing it doesn't always go the way you want. I will say that, it's kind of it's about interpersonal skills and communication styles, communication skills as well. And there are, the way people communicate with their spouse and their children or their friends or their colleagues, it's usually pretty similar. We will behave slightly differently one way or the other depending on the environment that we're in. But for the most part, that sort of baseline of how you communicate is going to come out in all areas of your life. And I will say that there are probably going to be a handful of people in your organization at the management level, or maybe not at the management level, but that won't adapt. They're not going to. They don't want to. They're not going to. And so that's part of it. Whenever you're talking culture change, is that when you're trying to shift culture, especially amongst your management team, there's going to be a handful of holdouts that just refuse. And the reality is that they there are going to be some people who just will not be a fit for the new culture that you're trying to build. And that's the reality as an organization too. That whenever you're trying to change culture, I think you should go into it with the expectations that there's going to be a percentage of people who just can't and or won't um, adjust their behavior in order to fit within the new culture that you're trying to foster, and and you may have to part ways.